Hello, welcome to Workplace Wake Up. I'm Jen Shaw. Every week, I spend about 15 minutes covering key legal developments, introducing you to interesting guests, and providing some entertainment to start your workday. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Hello, everyone. Happy almost Thanksgiving and welcome to the podcast. I have shopped, I have planned, I have strategized. We're having 18 people to the house for Thanksgiving. The one person I'm going to miss is my fabulous niece, Madison, who I love and adore. She is in graduate school up in Oregon and she gets very little time off, so she cannot come. And I don't even know if she listens to these podcasts, but if you do, Maddie, I love you to the moon and back. And I'm so happy that you're my niece and I love you and I'm so proud of you and I'm so grateful for you. So thank you for being in my life, my love. And I just wish you all the best on your finals that I know are coming up. All right, everybody. Obviously, if we're going to have a podcast that airs the day before Thanksgiving, we have to talk about gratitude. And this is so interesting to me because, as you know, I'm a lawyer. I'm not a social psychologist or a therapist or anything like that. But I've had a lot of therapy in my life, and I think it's made me a better person. And one of the things many folks have told me is the value of gratitude. So I keep a gratitude journal. I just scribble down a few little things at the end of every day about what I've been grateful for. This morning, actually, I went to the gym. I go to the gym at 5 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with this great trainer in Sacramento, by the way. He's at In Shape. His name is Nate or Nathaniel. He's absolutely fantastic. So I went to him this morning. I didn't want to get up and he worked me till I could barely move. As I get home, my 14-year-old daughter, Ella, who is amazing, says to me, "Mama, come snuggle with me." I thought, oh my gosh, she's 14. She may never ask me again. And I have hundreds of emails I have to go through. It's a nightmare. But I got in bed. And it was the best thing ever, best hour I've spent in I don't know how long. And we've been to the Taylor Swift concert recently. I've been to Memphis to the Civil Rights Museum, which was incredible. I've been to New Orleans and had beignets. But I'll tell you what, the 1 hour snuggle today with my daughter made me so grateful. And what it made me realize, I actually had a different topic planned for today. But what it made me realize is how good gratitude feels in your heart and how good it feels when you can go to your employees and you can tell them how much they matter and how valued they are. Now, listen, I know not all of your employees are perfect, okay? And I know that some of them drive you crazy, and I can pretty much guarantee you that you drive them crazy too on occasion, all right? But I want you to think today, before Thanksgiving, what are you grateful for? What do they do well? Don't forget to tell them thank you. Don't forget to really understand what it takes for them to get up every day and get dressed. Or if they work at home, they're in their PJs, whatever works. But they get up, they do the work that you need them to do, right? And in HR, you're not only worried about your employees, you're worried about all of the employees, right? You're grateful for everyone in your organization. That's why you have a job. You have an HR role because things happen with employees. Things need to be done. People need to be coached and mentored and given leaves of absence and trained on equal employment opportunity issues. And that is what HR professionals do every day. So when we think about gratitude, I want you to make this a goal for 2025. I want you to show some gratitude every single day. And I'm telling you, it'll make the people around you feel terrific, but it will make you feel amazing. I cannot believe how much gratitude helps. A little bit of TMI probably. And you know, we don't get political on the show, but I was disappointed in the election results, the presidential election results. And I was pretty worried the day after the election because I sort of started catastrophizing. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And then I started with gratitude. I started thinking about, okay, what can I be grateful for? Well, one thing I can be grateful for is that the election went off pretty much without a hitch. And the Constitution was upheld. Vice President Harris and President Biden conceded. They did exactly what they should do. Everything worked, okay? Everything worked. So I'm grateful for that. I don't want people's vote to not count. I don't care who they voted for. I just care that they got to vote. So when I started focusing on gratitude, I started thinking about, well, it could be good to have a new perspective. And yes, there's all sorts of explanations about what people care about and why they voted the way they did. But here's where we are. We're going to make it a good 4 years. It made me feel so much better. So gratitude is a very powerful antidote for frustration, for burnout, for people wanting to quietly quit. So I love the idea of doing what you can do in your organization to promote some gratitude. Train your leaders, your managers, your supervisors from the top down. Listen, be grateful. Find something good to say. It doesn't mean you're not going to hold people accountable. It doesn't mean you won't lose your temper. It doesn't mean things will always go perfectly for you. But if you think about what gratitude does, it really turns that frown upside down, right? It really makes you think about what is going well in your organization. Now, I don't want this to just be a touchy-feely episode. Hopefully none of you have tuned out already thinking I'm not going to give you any hardcore ideas. I am. 3 things that I think are critical to creating a culture of gratitude in your organization. First thing is integrity. And what I mean by that is you are in HR, in a human resources role. You are, of course, always expected to tell the truth and do the right thing. That goes without saying. That's what integrity is. But I'll tell you where some of the challenges come up. You have an employee who really drives you crazy, right? And oh my gosh, every time you see their number come up on your phone or you see their address come up on your email, you think, oh no, not again. What does this person want, right? And it really pulls you down. And so there might be something nice you could do for that person and you think, I'm not going to do it because I cannot tell you, I am just done with this person. I'm not doing it. Push through that. Find something you can do in the integrity of your intention, right? Think about what you are doing and how you are contributing to your workplace. What is your workplace footprint? Okay. Do you suck the life out of the workplace with a bunch of negativity? Or do you inject a little positivity when you can? I want you to try to do the latter. You're not going to be perfect. Believe me, I am so far from perfect. I can't even tell you. This process of gratitude is always a test for me. It's always a challenge for me. I used to love thinking about myself as someone who's direct. And I don't put airs on, and I don't try to be something I'm not. And I don't look at a situation with rose-colored glasses. I'm direct. I'm honest. Okay, well, sometimes that can be a little harsh. So you know what? As I've been focusing more on gratitude this year, I am seeing other employees show gratitude to their coworkers. I'm starting to see clients be more gracious and show more gratitude when we call them on a Sunday morning at 8 a.m. because they texted the night before about an emergency, right? I'm seeing that gratitude is contagious. Gratitude is something that when people feel how it lands on them, they want to share it with someone else. And it is the best antidote, like I said, to the frustrations and the fears and all of the things that can go on in the workplace. So, number 1 is integrity. Number 2, when you are creating a culture of gratitude, is I want you to be transparent. So it's okay to sandwich the gratitude. It's okay to say, hey, Jen, I've looked at this report you wrote and it's good, but I need these things done differently. And I want to let you know how much I appreciate your commitment, right? So you're not holding back on that constructive feedback. You're incorporating it into your discussion. You're incorporating it into the dialogue you're having. So you don't have to hold back on what needs to be fixed. We all have ways we can improve. You know, I was thinking the other day about how hard it is to be a parent. I mean, it's absolutely the best gift I have ever had. And I, as many of you know, had to wait a very long time to get my daughter. And when she finally showed up on this planet, and I thought, oh my gosh, I get to be a parent. I didn't know how hard it would be. I spent so much time figuring out how to get a child, how to become pregnant, or what my other options were, that I didn't think about what's it going to take to raise her. Oh my gosh, it is so hard. And what I tell Ella all the time is, I'm just doing my best. And I guarantee you I have screwed something up today. And you'll probably be in therapy for it. And I understand. And it's okay. I'm doing my best. I'm doing absolutely the best I can. And if I think I'm not doing the best I can, I immediately try to get myself in gear. Try to figure out, hey, wait a minute, I'm not giving something my attention that should be having my attention. So what's going on here? Okay. So transparency is really important. I'm not telling you that when you show gratitude, you can't be honest and you can't say what is actually going on. The third thing about gratitude is if you're going to create a culture of gratitude, you sometimes need help. What I mean by help are initiatives. Okay. So maybe you need a gratitude initiative where every day we ask employees to send one email to a coworker showing some gratitude, right? Maybe it's we have a gratitude potluck where everybody brings the food that they were most grateful for as a child. You can think of a million different things to do, but the initiatives about gratitude actually bring it to life. And I think it gets people, I know, it gets people who maybe have been on the fence about the value of gratitude. It connects them because they start realizing, oh gosh, this does feel kind of good, right? And we can have gratitude for small things in life, right? I have gratitude that the new season of Lincoln Lawyer is out and I just binge watched it and it was amazing. And I cannot wait for season 4. And so I sent an email to Netflix and said, thank you for this amazing show. I love the actors. If I had it to do over again, I'd love to be a defense lawyer, a criminal defense lawyer. It's so amazing. I love this show. Thank you. And you know what? I got a reply. I don't know if they reply to every email, but whoever it was, probably some intern, right? But wrote back to me and said, Dear Ms. Shaw, thank you for being a longtime member of Netflix. We are so happy that you love the Lincoln Lawyer. We do too. Her name was Marcy. Really? Marcy took the time to respond to my email. I don't know why, but it might have been because I expressed a little gratitude, right? And I didn't add, and your fees shouldn't have gone up. And how come you don't have all the shows I love? Those are all what I call feathers. You all know the difference, right? Between a brick and a feather. Okay. So when something happens that irritates you or upsets you, you can make it into a brick, like a big thing, and it's heavy. And if you are walking around carrying bricks all day, pretty soon you can barely function. You can barely move. Now, you could choose instead to think of the problems, the frustrations, the issues that come up as feathers. Oh, well, there's a feather. Watch it just going feathery into the sky. It's not a brick. It doesn't weigh you down. You don't care. It's a feather. I found this very useful dealing with my ex-husband, just thinking of everything that happens as a feather. So I was out of town. I got some tickets for my daughter to go see Sabrina Carpenter. I knew I would be gone, so I asked her dad if he wanted to go. At first, he thought he had to pay for it, which was upsetting to him. And I said, no, I've taken care of it. And he said, okay. He'll go. I fill up the car with gas. I get them everything they need. I'm in LA. I come back. They're home. Dad has gone to his house. Ella is home with my mom. And there is literally 7 miles left in my gas tank. Okay. I filled up the car. They drove back, and I have 7 miles left in the gas tank. And I felt myself get hot and irritated. And then I just imagined it's a feather. Oh, it's a feather. How about I just go get some gas? Not a big deal. Ella had an amazing time with her dad. They enjoyed the concert. They had a great time. I'm just not going to make it into a brick. I'm not. I won't. I'm not. And you know what? It made me feel so much better to think of it as a feather. So the other thing I want you to do is just try to keep your perspective. Find the gratitude even when there's a lot of bummer stuff going on, because there will be. There will always be things we can complain about that are irritating. But finding a little gratitude, I'm telling you, it makes your heart feel good. It really does. Everybody, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you get to spend time with the people you love and care about. The people who aren't with you, just remember the invisible string, right? I know I have it with my niece, Madison. I'm going to give a little tug on it tomorrow, and I know she'll feel it. Thank you so much, you guys. Keep up the amazing work, and I'll see you here next week. Workplace Wake Up, including our guests and hosts, do not provide legal advice in this podcast. Do not act upon any of the information discussed in this podcast without first consulting a licensed attorney in your jurisdiction. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to spread the word, please share it with others. Post about it on social media and/or rate and review it. You can also follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, and email us at info@shawlawgroup.com.